that's because it's starting. Just give me a second. Hey everybody, here we are with our nighttime pajama party with Az. Give me 1 second because I also want to do something else on my phone as well. And I just want to say hi, good evening everyone. Tonight we're going to be talking about our childhood fears. Like our first memory of childhood fears. And I have Latina with me tonight. And basically our parents teach us to have fearful and cautious to certain dangers like fire and crossing the road and stuff like that, but we have other child traumas that actually give us true fear. So let's get started, and welcome everybody on TikTok. It's good to see you. All right, Latina, what was I put you on the spot. What was your very, very, very first, earliest childhood fear? From a movie? Hold on 1 second. Hey TikTok, just in case you want to hear the other person's voice, you can see me over at twitch.tv. Come on over, because then you can hear everything, because as of right now, just here on the Twitch or TikTok live, you're only hearing me, but you need to come over here to Twitch TV and actually hear what this girl has to say, because it's over the Candyman movie. Go ahead. You were never afraid of the dark until the movie? They say they could barely hear you. Do you mind being just a tad bit louder? I'll turn you up as well. Let's see if that'll help. But go ahead.
Okay, I was saying that I've never been afraid of the dark until that movie. I don't know about the movie. Maybe fucking scary, but dude, the Candyman, maybe it was because of the fucking hook and all. Whatever. I don't even know. But that shit had me like petrified. That, and of course, which a lot of that, because that same fucking week, these motherfucking kids who I was hanging out with convinced me to watch, what was it, like, a movie that do with Bloody Mary and shit, you know?
Ooh.
Bloody Mary and all.
So I'm going to repeat a couple of things, and just bear with me actually interrupting you, because as you know, TikTok can't hear your side. So once again, if you really want to hear what she has to say, come on over to Twitch TV and search for my name, Azarrys. So she is explaining that she's talking about how when you stand in front of the mirror as a child and you go, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. So again, come on over to Twitch TV if you want to hear about it. So tell me about this. You are beautiful tweeps. I love you. Welcome. So tell me about, did you ever do it as a child?
Oh yeah. Oh my god, like that's really, it all happened in the same weekend. And truly, I think that all trauma from that weird oogie boogie bullshit.
Oogie boogie.
Has made me scared of the dark, honestly. And even to this day, as a woman of 30
Are you freaking yourself out? Are you freaking yourself out?
No. But I can explain that even now, as an adult, I think subconsciously, I'm still afraid, even though I'm not afraid, because I still have habits where, like right now, my bathroom is cracked open. I have a bathroom in my room, so it's kind of cracked open, and my little night light is on in my room, in my bathroom.
You do know
So
that the boogeyman is in your bathroom, right? He's hiding in your shower.
You just listen. I'm at a point in my life where I'm ready for anything to come and kill me. Like, come on. Like, living on this earth now is hard enough. Like, Mama bring me out. Fuck it. I'm going out today. If it's on the shower wall, come and get me, bitch.
Let me go ahead and say hello to chat. Hi, Angel. Hi, Tweeps. How you doing? Spider, how are you? And we got Harv Denton here. Yo, what's good? We're talking tonight about childhood fear. Oh, and Dobby, hi, baby. Childhood fear, because our parents teach us to not touch the hot fire. They teach us to look across the road. And they also tell us, certain things like don't play with snakes, yada, yada, yada. But there's a lot of things that happen to us as children that, on our perspective, we have that memory, hey Jay, how you doing, of what actual true fear is. So, Latina is going back on some couple of things of like Bloody Mary, I don't know how many of you actually did that whole Bloody Mary or light as a feather, stiff as a board when you were doing sleepovers. I mean, girls did. And she started off with Candyman, the movie, as being the real reason why she felt fear as a child. So we're just, kind of going over those. Go ahead, Latina.
It's so silly. I know. It's very silly. But as children, I don't think that, obviously, maybe with some parents, remember, this was the 90s, such a big difference in time, but I'm pretty sure parents like that, when they were not trying to shelter you from what the fuck you're watching, they didn't give a fuck. So, and they didn't realize how, I think child development, how much their childhood really plays a role in your adult life. And things really stem from childhood into your adult life. Like I said, I still catch myself unconsciously leaving some little light on in my home because I don't like the dark.
So what she's saying is she leaves lights on at home because she's afraid of the dark. If you want to hear the rest of the chat, you can see me over at Twitch TV. We're just doing over here a little introduction, but definitely you can hear the whole conversation over here on Twitch TV. Just search for my name, Azarrys. And I appreciate you coming to TikTok. Thank you. So, do you have any other type of fear other than like the things that we kind of done to ourselves? Did anything like actually happen as far as like something traumatizing, What is the earliest one that you can actually think of? And then I'll share with you. And if anyone else in chat wants to come into my Discord and share some of their childhood fears, you are more than welcome to join. Come on in, come share your fears with us because we want to hear about them. Ooh, why did Discord not come up? What in the world? I bet you it's delayed. It's okay. So, go ahead.
Oh, so around 5 years old, I've been attacked by a German Shepherd.
Oh, you got attacked by a dog?
Big ass German Shepherd.
Ooh.
And this dog literally was determined to try to rip my face off. So, so it all started from my dad, way back when, the 90s, of course, it's forever ago. My parents, my dad was a little grease monkey and everything, always fixing cars. So my parents, we were going to a junkyard that my dad been to a million times to go and pick up a part that he needed. And me and my mom were in the car, my dad had left out to get the part, and I really had to use the restroom. And in the interim, we had to use the restroom, and my mom knowing my parents knew people who owned this junkyard. You know what I mean? I see their daughters outside, and they're playing with the dog. Now, my parents knew them in passing, but obviously weren't like close with them. They just knew them from business. Obviously, they went to their junkyard periodically, but I don't think my parents knew that they had a dog or any of that. Anyways, I didn't even know the little girls. This was my first time meeting them, and I've been to that junkyard probably like 3 or 4 times at this point. It's the first time I ever seen two little girls out there, and they were playing with this dog. And this is like on the way into the actual shop to use the restroom. And I had asked them, because my parents always taught me to not just to pet any animal. You ask if it's okay to pet them. I had asked these little girls.
I mean, wait a minute. You didn't think for yourself to, I mean, I guess as a child, you think everything is safe, that you don't worry about whether.
I was five.
Okay.
I was 5 years old, and I had asked for permission. I had asked if it was okay to pet their dog. You know, as a kid, you're just doing what you have been taught to ask before you touch something. It's not yours. It's an animal. You know, you don't know it from anybody. You're asking the kids who own it. You know what I mean? The family.
Right.
You're asking the children that. I obviously saw it playing with them, so I thought it was nice. So I asked, "Can I pet it?" And the moment I got close to this dog to pet it, it lunged at me. I mean, it literally,
Wow.
Next thing I knew, I blacked out, and I woke up in the car in my mom's lap, and I was just apparently gushing blood. My mom was freaking out. I could hear her as my eyes were closed because I was screaming from the pain. I could literally hear her freaking out, like screaming, telling my dad to go, speed up, like to rush. And I remember also like kind of passing out from that too, and just waking up in the ER to my parents, talking to the doctor. And I remember a doctor talking about how they thought the stitches were healed, that they don't think there's no need for plastic surgery. I still have a scar on my face it's pretty small now, but you can feel the indentation of the two of the scars from this dog lunging at me.
Let me go ahead and remind you over at TikTok that if you want to hear the full conversation, that you'll have to find me on Twitch TV, because that's where you can actually get involved. So thank you so much for coming over here. We do appreciate you. But we would love to see you over at Twitch TV. And thank you so much for the roses, Vaccine. I appreciate you. But I need you to stop that, young lady. Stop that. Come on over to Twitch. Come into my Discord. Come have a conversation with us. It's Pajama Party with Az. So, well, let me tell you something. For me, the very, very first memory of childhood fear, oh my God, this is going to be bad. I was like 4, maybe 5, and it was literally a 4th of July weekend, and everybody was out in the yards and stuff. And I lived in Los Angeles County. This is back before my mom got married to an actual man. She was a single mother at the time. And we didn't live in the greatest neighborhood, but it was what she could afford as a single mother. And everybody was like having some beer, you know, I'm sure there was some other stuff going on and whatnot. And, you know, I'm out there with my sparkler, this, that, and the third. And then the next thing I know, people are screaming, like horror movie screaming. And I look up as a kid because, you know, we're oblivious as children. And I look up and I'm watching the neighbor axe the living shit out of my mom's boyfriend. And I'm like, you know, I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. I'm just thinking, hi, how are you, Vaccine? It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming over from TikTok. I appreciate you. But yeah, I didn't know what was actually going on. But through the years of nightmares and stuff, I still see like the blood flying everywhere and that axe going at the guy and this, that, and the other. But I remember being swooped up. It happened so quickly too. I was swooped up. I was put into this baby powder blue Farling. Now I'm older, so, and
what the fuck is a Farling?
It's a type of vehicle. Look it up, Google it. I'm not going to get into it, but it was called a Farling. Very cool ass car if you look it up. But I don't know why, but they put her boyfriend behind the driver. And I don't know why they thought it was, maybe because there was just no babysitters, but it was my uncle and a kid and my mom in the front seat. And then the boyfriend, myself, and 2 other kids, because it was bucket seats in the back seat. Fine, I guess I'll come over here instead of TikTok. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate you. I appreciate you a lot. Hello, Mr. Smokegood. How you doing, baby? So anyhow, I remember him being like this and just blood, like a horror movie, just dripping all over him. And I remember blood all over the car panel. Hello, baby. How are you doing? And thank you so much for your follow. I appreciate you. And I remember being at the hospital with him and all of them, but obviously kids can't go in. And I also remember falling asleep on the concrete outside the slider doors. So whenever I hear, thank you so much, I appreciate you. Thank you, CJ. Thank you so much for your sub and for your gift. That was awesome. Very, very often awesome. But so the sound of wishing back and forth slider doors will trigger that memory for a quick hot second. So thank you so much. It's good to see you. But yeah, so I remember that as a child. And that is just absolutely not, that is my first memory of actually having fear. And it's mainly fear of blood. So, you know, I don't pass out and get sick when I see blood, but seeing blood and hearing the swooshing of the electric doors just kind of reminds me of all that. Oh, thank you so much for your biddies. I appreciate you. CJ, you are still number one of my all-time gifts, and that is awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. So anyhow, how long have we been doing this for? Oh, we got a little bit longer here on TikTok. A little bit longer. Again, if you want to hear the full conversation, come on over to twitch.tv/AZARRYS. So, do you have another memory that kind of helped you learn about fear?
God, no, girl. I feel like I just speeded out some pretty deep shit.
Why do I no longer hear you? What happened?
Do you not hear?
What'd you do to your mic? Girl, what happened to your microphone?
Can you
Disconnect and reconnect again, please, because you just like disappeared. I am having a great night, CJ. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Can I hear you now?
Hello?
What the hell did you do to your mic?
What did I do? What do you mean?
Does anybody else hear her?
Girl, it's your shit, not mine.
No, girl, I don't hear anything. Unplug it, plug it back in. Something happened. How's the baby mama going, CJ? Your little Lillian should be coming to us in the world here soon, yes?
Hello, it's me.
Ooh, thank you so much for your follow, King Carm. I appreciate you.
Can you
Is
hear
it
me now?
my stuff that broke?
Can you hear me now? No, you can't hear me.
Do you guys hear her okay?
Can you hear me?
I literally do not hear you.
Unfucking real.
Yeah. Like, what in the...
Girl, can you hear me? Can you hear me? At all? Oh. What is going on?
Can you hear me now? I think I just had a little small technical difficulty. I apologize. I apologize. Latina King, I can probably hear you now. Ooh, that was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Come back to Discord. Let's try again. Hello? Hello? How about now? Can you hear me? Oh, holy crap. Yes, I can hear you now. I don't know what happened there. Something crazy happened, but that's okay. That's okay. We got this. I think
I can't even hear you in your stream. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I just had a small technical difficulty, nothing, no big deal. Moving on. So what is the next thing that you remember as a child?
Honestly, that's probably the biggest thing. Listen, you didn't even finish your memory, your other one. Like, it had to be something more than just that. I gave you two. I need a second one from you now. Let's play catch up.
Okay. So I put it in Discord at one point where I was talking about, and I don't know why all of these things seem to happen during the 4th of July weekend, but the second bad memory that I have is I was like 8 or 9 years old, and it was my year to finally get to light a firework. And I was so excited. And this is back when families really got together, and you had big, huge barbecues, and the whole neighborhood, the whole block, you kind of just like had a section where you put all your food. It was potluck style. And then everybody would pick a section and they would chalk it out, and you would have your fireworks section and your no section and this, that, and the other. And thank you again, King Carm, for coming over. I appreciate you. So this is my year to light the firework, and they had one that was basically what they called back then a snow cone. It was like one of those triangular ones. It was probably about this tall. Well, let's give it about 9 inches. I don't do 9 inches. But anyways, so Mom was sitting on the front yard and doing her thing and drinking with the neighbors, this, that, the other. And my dad walks me out to the street and, does that lecture of this is how you light it, this, that, and third. And he gives me the sparkler. And then my mom starts yelling at my dad about something, and I don't remember. And of course, I'm excited. I'm a child. I lit the bottom of the wick. Not the top of the wick, but the bottom of the wick. The next thing I know, bright lights is all I remember. I remember a little bit of heat. I remember being picked up immediately and ran into our kitchen sink and thrown underneath cold water. Because, when you're drunk and high, people don't understand. Hi. You just don't put cold water on, kind of stuff like that. But yeah, everything was a murmur. Everything was really super scary. And I don't do fireworks because of that, and also because of Desert Storm. Hey, how you doing, Dr. K? It's good to see you. So anyways, I had this big, huge burn scar that kind of like did like a face mask over my face. I burnt eyelashes off of this eye, part of this eyelid, all of the top of my forehead turned into a big scar. And I used to get the shit beat out of me because they accused me of picking it. But when you lay in your bed and it's sensitive like that, and you move around in your sleep, it breaks open the scab. But they did grafts and all that. And the only thing that I have left is this. It looks like a Fraulein. It's super, super deep. Let's see if I could show you. But it's where the skin kind of came together, and I got very lucky. I could have been extremely scarred and everything. So I don't do fireworks at all. Hi. Yeah. So those are my fears. I don't do blood. I don't do fireworks. Yeah, I don't do any of that. And those things have made me kind of a little sensitive girl. So, yeah, definitely. So, all right, TikTok, we are done over here. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you really want to hear the rest of the conversation, you need to go over to twitch.tv/Azarrys, Azarrys. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the gifts. I appreciate the time and the energy. Please stay humble. Please stay kind. And please be blessed. Have a good evening. See you on Twitch TV. Okay, TikTok is done. Got that in. Whew, okay, let's go. So what else did you have that made you have fear?
Well, really nothing else, to be honest with you. I mean, and to be frank with you, these fears are obviously from childhood. Like, as adults, I'm not dramatically scared of the dark. Don't get me wrong, I proceed with it with caution. there's times where I do get a little anxiety, but not true. Like there's no fear, like to where I'm scared and panicking to like literal, crime or anything. That doesn't happen. And then the whole thing with dogs, I love animals. I mean, yes, I had a trauma with that shit, but like, I mean, I've grown out of it. Don't get me wrong, I proceed with animals that I don't know with caution, of course, but there's no fears. And as an adult, I really don't have any like president fears, honestly. Nothing that can stop me in my tracks per se. Honestly, like most people tell me that they're scared of death, and I'm probably the most morbid person. So death to me does not scare me at all.
So, are you afraid of spiders?
Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Bring it out. But that's okay.
That's okay. Wait a minute. It is a dislike. I agree with that. But let's talk about that. Are you afraid of spiders?
I'm not gonna answer the issue because I don't need any possible murderer one day be like, well, you know what you're all afraid of. Let's torture you.
Okay, so the answer is yes. She's afraid of spiders. But why are you afraid of spiders? What got you?
They're just the most creepiest looking creatures out in the world. Like, and them motherfuckers can like they multiply like cockroaches. It's scary. No.
So I'll tell you why I'm afraid of spiders. Oh, I've got a tragedy for just about everything. And you've already heard this story, but just a reminder, and for those that have never heard of it, I am afraid of spiders because let's see, my oldest kid is 30 now. I gotta think, he had to be about 8. And him and his cousins were on their way to school. We lived in a small town in the Midwest, and his female cousin did not know that this had happened, but evidently a brown recluse fell off of a bush, off of a tree that all the kids walked under, and somehow was on her back somehow, and she got bit. This was 7 o'clock in the morning. Within an hour and a half or so, I don't remember all the details, but the school called my cousin, and they're like, you need to come get your daughter. She's running a high fever, yada, yada, yada. And then luckily she lived right down the street from the school. And by the time that 5-minute walk that it took for her to get to the school, my little cousin was already convulsing. They had called 911. This was in a small town on the top of Missouri that was about 92 miles away from Kansas City, where the major children's hospital is. So it was a good hour ride. They had lost her twice in the ambulance. They brought her back, obviously, but basically when you get bit by a brown recluse, what it does is it coagulates the blood and clots start going through the heart. So here she is, 7 years old, and she's having mild heart attacks. The end of the story is not good. She passed away by 2:30 in the afternoon. So myself and my boys, we have a legitimate fear of spiders. I never had a fear of those. I used to, as a little girl, dumbass, there was a neighbor that had these like bushes and the popcorn spiders. I used to go catch the popcorn spiders and let them crawl up my arm. Shit like that. Never had a fear of spiders until that happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry about your cousin and all, but
it was years ago. Yeah, she was 3 years older than Kevin, and Kevin's now 30, so.
So scary. My spider story, which I told you, it's so silly compared to yours. Oh my god. I mean, so I don't even know I was. I know it was younger than 10. I do know I was younger than 10.
Okay.
Maybe just about 10. I had this closet in my room. I had a double bunk bed in a closet in my room where my mom had put this whole shelf. And that closet was filled with all my favorite stuffed animals that I've had over the years. And I remember one night while I was going to sleep, I saw this massive thing fall out of my closet from behind my stuffed animal.
When you say massive thing, what do you mean by massive thing? I mean, because we're not talking about dildos here.
No, this thing was like a fucking, it was a massive spider. I mean, it was huge. It was huge.
I mean, that's what she said.
It was insanely huge. And I just thought to her, like, oh my god, it's getting closer and closer to me. And then that I was so scared of what it was and what I think I thought it was. Because remember, it was like in the middle of the night. I had this little nightlight going on. So I just see this massive thing crawling across the wall in the dark, and I see it moving fast. And I'm like, what the fuck? So being that was scaring me, I had put my blanket over my head, and I just kept talking to myself like, it's okay. I gotta get you, whatever it is. I gotta get you, go to sleep. And I woke up that morning, and I was telling my mom, Mom, there's something in my closet. She's like, what? Like, Mom, something came out of my closet. Some animal. Some creature.
You thought of boogie, 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 boogie.
Literally, I told my mom, she's like, Mama, he probably just had a little nightmare or whatever.
I see you, Jacqueline.
I'm like, Mom, I swear something's there. Something came from that closet. I don't know what it was. Or something. And I swore up and down, like, I couldn't be any more serious because I was being for real as fuck with her. And I'm just like, I'm not lying, I swear, this is what I saw. Like, I know what I saw. So then a week passes by, right? A week passes by. And we had this long hallway, like leading up to the bedrooms from the kitchen. Where those bedrooms, this long hallway, just elongated, pretty long. So, literally a week passed by, and my mom is noticing something crawl from the end of the hallway down to where she was.
How big was this thing? How big was this thing?
Dude, this thing was like probably, I swear, I think someone lost an exotic pet spider.
Like a tarantula?
But bigger. It looked like this.
Well, tarantulas are big.
This bitch was, I swear, it was bigger.
Oh, well, camel spiders were a thing. We unfortunately brought them over when we came back from overseas. We did the best we could to sweep our equipment and whatnot, but, the super small ones, we didn't have an issue with those desert camel spiders until Desert Storm were the ones that brought them.
And let me tell you, I lived in Florida at this time. It's a strong possibility this little motherfucker was definitely thriving and living its best life on the warm climates. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, I swear, it's like someone lost their fucking pet spider. I don't know, but this bitch, like, my mom panicked and immediately saw it coming. Man, she took roach spray in a plunger. Literally, killed this thing and roach sprayed it to death. And I was like, see, I told you. I saw that shit come up there. Obviously in her terms, but I'm like, Mom, I wasn't joking. I know what I saw. See, that's what I saw. My mom was like, holy fuck. She said, Mama, you were really telling the truth. I was like, of course it was. That's a massive creature. How do you miss a massive creature like that?
So,
and then wait.
Okay.
To boot. I said, Mama killed it already. Plunged it to death with a plunger. Roach spray. I told her where I saw it coming out of my room. So my mom moved all my teddy bears in the closet, and she found this massive hole that this little
no.
This bitch built a home in my closet. It built a
home. No.
Girl, my parents, I'm like, exterminators come that same day and do all types of shit. I couldn't sleep in my room for like 2 days because of whatever chemical they used in my room. To sweep that bitch clean, but yes.
No, that is scary. So, from a psychological standpoint, from your education and my education, do you feel that fear is very important to instill in our children? Or do you feel that should we continuously teach our children fear, or do we just kind of let them, figure it out on their own? Because back in the 80s, they didn't really teach us, our parents didn't teach us a whole lot about fear. It was trial and error for us.
I mean, same thing for the 90s. I mean, I was born 90s, so same shit. Same shit. My parents were like, 50s and 60s babies, so, yeah. I
So
mean, it was
you
still
don't think
trial
that
and
they
error.
taught you anything about fear?
I mean, what do you mean, like, except that to be brave? I mean, really, my parents taught me to be brave, to try to overcome them, not let things that scare you, make you not do what you need to do to survive. I mean, essentially, my parents, just taught you to be brave. They're like, well, if you're kind of like the saying goes, you know what? I mean, if you're scared to cross the street, do you think you're ever going to make it across the street?
Well, that is
No, you
something
can't be
that they're
scared.
supposed to teach us. So, chat, what do you guys fear? I mean, someone has to, a story of some sort that allows them to understand what fear is that maybe they would like to share, because fear is a big thing. Fear is absolutely a big thing.
I mean, fear is powerful. Fear can literally make somebody protect somebody. I mean, fear can do a lot. It can do a lot to the human body. You know what I mean? It can, activate all the fight or flight modes. You know what I mean? So, who knows? I mean, I don't think fear is the worst thing. I think fear is good. It protects us from things that we know it's not good for us. I mean, do I think it's okay to play with fucking massive tarantulas that are being poisonous things? No. I'm scared of being a. I'm not scared of the water or the ocean. I'm scared of even getting eaten by a fucking shark. So best believe my ass
She's like, I'm not
is not
playing.
gonna be beside me.
I'm not playing with tarantulas or anything of the sort. Yeah, you don't want to play. You don't want to play with tarantulas. I think they're harmless.
Look, if I can light all of Australia on fire, I would. Because I'm not gonna let them. If I can light that whole place on fire, I would douse it all in kerosene and just light that bitch like Carrie, like not give a fuck.
She's like, I don't care. I don't care.
I would literally, arc me and none shit. I would flip pyromaniac me. I would do that shit. In a heartbeat.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Well, like I said, in the 80s for us, it was a whole lot of trial and error, excuse me. My parents literally threw me outside and told me that I was not to be seen until the streetlights came on. And that was during a time that we could. Now you're close to my children's age, and you're a little bit older, and yeah, we kind of did the same.
Remember, we come from a time from like Jack the Ripper, right? Jack the Ripper was a thing. There was a lot of fucked up shit from my parents' time that when we were kids, just had happened. You know what I mean? So, of course, our parents' fear is instilled to protect their children from these things. I mean, I mean, literally, I remember, Jack the Ripper being a thing in the time, like, and he targeted women of color and just women in general, and sometimes
Okay,
young girls.
but you have to remember we had Richard Ramirez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't sleep at night. He was like grabbing women from their beds and stuff. So, I mean, was Jack the Ripper, wasn't that more of was that a copycat?
Oh, God, I can't remember. I need to look that up. I really can't remember.
I'm on it. Jack the Ripper. Yeah, Jack the Ripper was identified as a serial killer active in and around the impoverished Whitechapel district of London, England in the autumn of 1888. So he was a copycat, yeah.
There was another one. I remember, like in the 70s and 80s, there was a copycat where they called him the Jack the Ripper. I remember that much. And you remember that? Do you remember that time?
Well, Richard Ramirez was the Night Stalker.
Oh yes, I remember that one too.
Yeah, that's the one from my childhood. But from the 90s, I don't remember who he was, because I don't remember ever telling my kids to lock up their shit. Serial killer from the 90s.
And no one's gonna get it, Jeffrey Dahmer, that I remember. But I wasn't really. My parents did not really influence me much on the whole.
Oh no.
I didn't know about him until like fucking.
They're talking about Chester Dwayne Turner From 87 to 98, he raped and strangled his victims, most of them South Los Angeles women. So he was kind of like the modern day nighttime stalker.
Right.
I personally don't remember that, and I lived in LA. No, I lived in the Midwest during that time. I didn't come back to California until early 2003, so I don't remember, ever making my kids have to shut their doors and stuff like that. Because even having a 2-story home in Orange County, California, I still had to close my windows at night because the Night Stalker would use whatever you had around your yard. And if you left a ladder, he was using all sorts of different things. So, my dad always put the ladders away, this, that, and the other. So, wow, that's scary. But you've been on the East Coast most of your life, yes?
Yes.
So who was it for you? Because we already discovered that Jack the Ripper was from 1888, or did they just call him that?
They just called him that from what I remember.
Did he get caught?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Dead or alive?
I think he was caught dead. I really want to say, but don't quote me. Like I said, I knew about this at a young age. This is from my mom's time, when she, like I said, it was a block for women of color, just women, but mostly women of color. And so, he got me. Like I said, I was just a kid. We weren't, but parents, of course, warned us. And then, being that you're a young woman, not to be outside late and not pass, the streetlights. Once the streetlights came on, you knew your ass had to be home. If not, you were getting ass whooping. That's always been a rule when I was a kid. No matter what age, I had to be home before the streetlights came on. Not, it was just. I think my parents were just always worried for the worst,
Yeah, I'm looking it up, and there is, so Richard Ramirez, he was in San Quentin, and it looks like he finally died in 2013 from complications from B-cell lymphoma.
Charles Shipman, remember him?
No.
Dr. Death.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary. That is absolutely scary. Wow. That's crazy.
He would attack a lot of elderly women, He would attack a lot of elderly women. There was a lot of, serial killers in the 90s that just were severely attacked towards women, targeted towards the women around that time. And I think that was in, late 90s.
Wow. So basically, chat. Oh, I'm so sorry, babe. What? Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
Well, I want to go ahead and wrap it up because I don't want the nighttime streams to be for too long. But we basically just talked about childhood fear, childhood trauma, the serial killers that we remember as children, the things that scare us. She's afraid of spiders.
Shut up.
Big, hairy spiders.
Killer.
Oh no. We could talk about it, but let me go ahead and close the stream down for the night. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. Thank you for the biddies. Thank you for the subs. I definitely appreciate you. We're going to be doing a lot more of these nighttime chats and whatnot. We are going to go ahead and raid out. Let's see who we can raid out to. I need to look on my phone. I don't like to look at my phone while streaming, but I don't have a raid out planned. So let me see who is currently streaming. And I got a perfect person for you guys. She is absolutely amazing. Okay. Mook, hi baby. How you doing? We're about to raid out. You'll know who we're raiding to, Mook. But thank you so much for coming. We were just doing a little bit of nighttime chatting, but let me get this raid going. You guys are absolutely going to love her. She's so entertaining, so sweet, so happy. And again, thank you for coming. Stay humble, stay kind, stay blessed. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Have a great one. You've been writing? Okay. No, it's okay. You're going to love who I'm writing out to. I promise you. So have a good night. Bye, guys. Give me just a second.